there are structures here, and I've been here multiple times, and I've walked these structures, and I always say that these structures had to have had slaves living in them at one point in the 1800s. So these structures were established in 1820 up to 1840 when the gold rush took place, and most of the people here decided to leave and go to California for the gold rush. But even in that conversation, I still want to dig deeper to see were there slaves here, because when I Google slavery in Arkansas, I get Scott, Arkansas, and I get Arkansas going toward Lake Village, but I never get Little Rock, Arkansas. It never comes up in my search. So I asked one of the museum hosts today to just tell me more about this. So he brought me to the sign, and I will post it in my video. And I'm going to walk this plot of land and just share it with you, and just so you can see it. Maybe not do a lot of talking, just so you can see it, because I can't access the properties. But yeah, this is block 32, and across the street there's a log cabin, which is block 33, that was actually brought here from like Scott, Arkansas. They kept up with the record of the owner of the property and how many slaves the person owned on their particular property. Although the property was transported here years ago, it has a history when it was located in Scott, Arkansas, with over 50-some slaves. And this particular block here had about 60 slaves. Now, here's the thing that one of the guys who worked for the museum said that was unique to me. He said slavery this is an urban city versus in a metropolis versus rural, which were plantation homes. He said that in metropolises and urban cities, slavery took place, but they were different. The slave actually worked in the kitchen and lived on the property, which was more of an upscale home, but it doesn't give you the plantation life, but it was still slavery. Not to say it was better than people who lived on the plantation or not, it was still slavery, but the lifestyle were different. So let me take you throughout the property so you can enjoy and see what I'm looking at, and hopefully you can learn something from it. So I'm standing in front of Parker Westbrook 1850 farmstead home. So this particular property was brought here, transported here from Scott, Arkansas. It gives you a physical image of what houses look like in rural Arkansas as compared to the other houses I've shown you thus far on this property. But as you can see, this property had over 50 slaves in Scott, Arkansas. It was brought here so that people who visit the Historic Arkansas Museum can get a physical and visual of what life on farms or plantation looked like in Scott, Arkansas in the 1850s. So although this property was brought here, the history came with it. They basically almost have a perfect list of through the census and tax records, because slavery was considered chattel property. So the slave owners wrote slaves off on their taxes. It's almost a perfect list of all the slaves that were owned by Parker. If you're ever in Arkansas, stop by the historic Arkansas Museum and, you know, learn the history.